Alright, I think we're live. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, so hopefully the audio is sounding okay. Let me know if you're in the chat if the audio is good. Kind of doing this kind of low key. I haven't really pushed it out too much. But it's very muggy in this room, so something to be aware of. So I got my water, 2 things of water. But anyhow, hopefully everyone's doing good, and I'll kind of continue talking about just random stuff. I have a box I got in today that I'm going to unbox. I'm going to pour some different whiskeys. Probably going to start with a Scotch, and then I'm going to move over. I just got these 2 new bottles in from Jack Daniel's, which I'm kind of excited about, which is the new Jack Daniel's Bonded. So that's kind of interesting. And then their other one, which I'm really excited about because it seems to be getting a lot of love, I guess, but it's the triple mash Jack Daniel's, so I'm gonna try that too, and with plenty of water because it's hot. But yeah, excited about those. But my first pour will probably be this lovely Glenfiddich 18 that I've been really digging on, so might as well dig into that now. Is the audio working? Hopefully. And let's see, not seeing chat, so hopefully it's just being wonk on the chat side of the house for me. Actually, I know what I could do. So I'm gonna go to my other computer and see how that looks here, so I can monitor. There we go. Nope, we want to go to my channel. Anyways, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully it's going well. Let's see. Can't hear me. No buenos. That's what I had a feeling. I had a feeling that wasn't working. It's showing working here. So let me see what this is. Oh, okay, perfect. Hey, what's going on? You guys can hear me okay? Everything copacetic, all that stuff? Everything works fine. Cool beans. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it low-key for this one, just gonna get back into the swing of this, but long week. But, oh yeah, let's do that again. That was nice. So this one's the Glenfiddich 18, and so it's got Oloroso sherry, aged 18 years in Oloroso sherry, and bourbon casks. Our aged malts are married in small batches for rich and elegant complexity. Product of Scotland. And actually, this is a company, so it's the Whiskey Wisdom, a local small business out of Seattle here. And actually, Seattle Glass Blowing is who initially did all their demo stuff, but now they're getting them hand blown out of China currently. But the original designs, everything was coming out of Seattle Glass Company. But this thing has a really good nose. The way it's designed, it's got this really crazy flute, and the nose on it's just nuts. It really helps shape the nose. Anyways, is there a shirtless stream? I don't think I put it for. I think I did put 18 over, but I don't. No one wants to see an old white dude shirtless. Yeah, this is like honey drizzled fruit almost. It's really, really yummy. Anyhow, I guess if there's any questions or anything like that, you guys have any thoughts, once I finish this first glass of this Glenfiddich, God, that is spot on tasty. I'm going to give the Jack Daniel's Bonded a pour, and then the Jack Daniel's Triple Mash, and then we can talk any Q&As, and then I'll unbox this right now, just because it'd be kind of fun. Bring out the cleaver. But this is interesting. This one I'm kind of interested because I'm not actually, you could say I'm not a fan. I haven't really dug on many of their products. But this one should be. Sorry, my chair is super cutting myself like a dum-dum. This one should be interesting at the very least. It gets some pretty good praise. So let's dive into what this is. So, first hint is it's Mez audio. Mez. And next hint, or giving it away, the lovely lyric. Lyric? Yeah, I think lyric is the right way to to pronounce that. I am not doing good with getting this thing out, though. There it is. You know, I will say, man, like this, the case on this and the unbox is pretty intense. This is I'm gonna have to put all this away, and the wife's gonna be like, whoa! But, good thing I caught that. It's got this crazy pillow, like, almost look to this top part, and it's not really a pillow, it's actually really hard, but, you know, but, yeah, it's like a almost leather thing. Anyways, oh, that's nice. That was in a very cool case sitting in here. And the cables, so, yeah. Put that stuff over there so we don't make a mess. But anyways, how's everybody doing? Lots of popcorn. Yeah. Is there popcorn today? Let's try to avoid popcorn. I don't really want to talk about popcorn. I don't think that that's what a lot of people, I mean, I know people love talking or getting into popcorn, but, you know what? I don't think I have the right amp set up for this right now. But anyways, cable is not my favorite right off the bat. It's like a rubbery kind of, it's not horrible, but it does feel like very rubbery, and that's the cable. So, but it does have like a really rubbery feel to it, if that makes sense. Like a very, like soft rubber. Not my favorite. Not quite as bad as like the catheter tubes on a hi-fi min, but it's definitely not my favorite. Yeah. I wonder if I have to look at if I have cables that will work with it. Kettle corn is miles better than popcorn. Yeah. Yeah. I did not, Aunt. This is someone sent this to me, so I'm gonna be giving it a demo. Wow. Man, I will say, Mez does know how to make a very pretty. Oh, okay, I see. I'm like trying to figure out why is there two cables of the same cable, but this one's just a shorter one, so I'm assuming more for on-the-go listening, and then the longer cables for, you know, sit at home. But yeah, that's pretty. Like, credit where credit, and they continued that kind of like leather outer shell part that's over the cups here as well. It's just they do make a fantastic look. Can you take these off? I'm scared to pull on these, so I'm not sure, but yeah, this thing's very pretty. It looks very well made and feels very well made, but that's every Mez I've really messed with has been that way. So anyways, look forward to some thoughts on that down the road. That should be fun. Let's see here. What's up, Jay? How goes it? Lesser Evil is fantastic. That stuff's fantastic popcorn. But any thoughts or ideas on things coming up or going on in the world of audio or whiskey or anything like that? I'm trying to think of other cool whiskey stuff. I have my little monster outside the door here right now, so if you hear chitter chatter, that's why. But yeah, so fun stuff. Nothing too crazy with me other than I have that Mez coming. That will be a thing I'll do a video on. I have some SMSL stuff, a little SMSL stack, and surprisingly, this thing's like really small, powers my calf, so I'm really impressed by that. I also have a bunch, and it's actually, they're over here to the side, I'll go get them maybe, but a bunch of IEM kind of stuff coming up as well, from both the community member and also from Ant, so thanks Ant. I have some, I think a FIO and a Grell thing coming that I might be looking at. Uh, oh, nice. It did come in. Nice. That's stoked, Jay. Looking forward to your thoughts on that thing. And then, yeah, man, the 2022 is definitely a strong year for actual music. Like, there's so many cool albums dropping lately. So if there's something that you've been digging on that's a new album, I really liked, let's see, probably populate it over here so I can not disrupt this. Over here's my MacBook, so I'm messing with it over there. But, like, let's see, I was really digging on, what was one of the more recent ones I've been digging on? I'm all over the place, but I don't know. I'll think of it as top of my head as I go. Been a kind of a long day, long week, so brain's not quite working there. Hey, Chef Steve, what's going on? I have tried some Denons. I don't think I've tried that specific one, but they're fun. They're very bassy, fun, kind of V-shaped headphones, as I recall. And yeah, they're definitely a fun headphone to play with. And if you get a good deal, it's like whew, really fun headphone. Qualia. Yeah. But yeah, so I was trying to think. There's some other stuff kind of coming down the pipe as far as audio stuff. I know Can Jam Chicago is coming up. I know I'm not going to be going to that, but I'm sure that's something that we can see stuff coming out of. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. I know the Home Entertainment Show is in LA or Southern California next week, so there's some stuff that'll probably come out of that, but I'm not sure how much is like pure audio file and just more of the home entertainment type of audio, and which I think is cool as well. It's audio's audio, right? We're here for the music. But oh, Jay, nice. So the new, so that's the other thing that's really cool. So like Jay's saying, like ZMF's been really pumping out these pads for all the different kind of staple headphones that people have been really digging on. Like they're making some for like the HD 600 series or 6 series, 580s, that kind of thing. The Grottos. How else were they making pads for? They're making a bunch though, and that'd be kind of cool. I think that's pretty cool that they're doing that because they have such a fantastic pads like for your headphones. Like the feel of a ZMF pad is just next level. It's very, very nice. I mean, I got my VCs here, so I got cables everywhere. But the VCs, but yeah, man, the ZMF pads are they're so well put together, and they feel good. They're nice, solid freaking pads. So it's kind of cool to see that they're doing them for other headphone lines. So that's really nice. Oh wow, Melbourne, that's dope though. Like what you get so stuck in your own little like part of the world sometimes. I'd be really interested to know more about the Melbourne Hi-Fi show. I love Melbourne, by the way. I've been there once, and I've been to Sydney once, and loved Melbourne, loved Sydney, two of my favorite places on this earth. Let's see. Kendrick Lamar, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to like, God, why can't I think of the name? It's like totally evaded me. But Kendrick Lamar's new album, that was fantastic. I mean, it's a lot to take in for that album. It's just there's so much that he's talking about, and you have to really listen to the lyrics, and you have to like really pay attention to the lyrics for that one to like really sink in. So I really dug that. It felt more like spoken word than it did hip hop. I mean, it's still hip hop, but it had that spoken word where you really had to listen and pay attention to what he's actually saying, which I thought was really cool. Storytelling, fantastic. Oh, nice. So yeah, so Jay, sorry, I'm pausing. I'm reading comments. I'm trying to, and 600 series EMF pads kind of adds to the clamp force, but rounds out the soundstage a bit. That's actually pretty cool. And yeah, the 600 series is always really clampy, anyways. So I mean, anytime you add more, to that in between, it's gonna have that little bit tighter clamp. So depending on the pads, it can be a little bit too much sometimes. But if the pads are really plush, but they still are big, they can still have that nice plushness, but just be a little bit clampy. So yeah, right. Like it's Kendrick Lamar's that album, dude. Like I spent. I was talking with a buddy of mine in Hawaii, I might have him. I might try and get him on at some point for one of these, like just chat and hang out kind of thing. Maybe like an album listen type deal. But it really, we were chatting about it when it released, and we were like, and going back and forth, and man, like that, like I had to listen to it multiple times to like really digest it. Like the first time I listened to it, I came into it with like a hip hop mentality where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna, and then it just bam hits you, and you're just like, what? Like it was. You had to like, I even told my buddy, I was like, dude, I need to listen to this again with like a more concentrated listen, because it was a lot to take in, and it was really cool. Haven't had that happen in a while. Sorry, I have a Discord is on my Mac apparently. It's boop boop. Yeah. So, anything else kind of happening in the world of you guys and gals? I don't really have too much going on. I'm gonna be hitting up out of. Let's see. I'll be going out of town for a while, which I'm pretty stoked about. We're gonna head out to Amsterdam, and that's gonna be really dope. Some in-laws are gonna come in and watch our house, and we're gonna go out to Amsterdam. I'm gonna hopefully get some pictures, and that's gonna be a nice change of pace. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So I won't be doing. It'll be just a couple days, so I'll be back hopefully getting a video done. But yeah, so expect to see pictures of Amsterdam here in the near future. So that's probably the coolest stuff I have going on currently, but outside of like the audio world. And then I'm trying to do some more. I've been doing a lot of whiskey stuff lately as well on the outside. I've been actually with these guys, the Whiskey Wisdom glasses. I actually did a photo shoot for those guys and did some like headshots for them, and I'm working on a small like intro video for them as well, like just more like something that sits in the background of like a website. So hopefully that can come together and look okay. But yeah, let's see. Big Thief's new record is the best I've heard. Nice. I think I have heard that. That sounds really. Now I have to like go look that up. That sounds really familiar. I think you shared that before with me, right? Yeah. Okay. Yep. I know what you're talking about now. Yep. I had to look it up, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. That is pretty good. It's pretty fun. But yeah, anything else going on in the world of you guys? Joss Stone's reggae album. Yes. Freaking been digging on reggae. Another album that I was looking at, and it was like, I was talking to a guy on Instagram that I chat with. He's over in the UK, I believe. But he was, why is it blanking on me? Florence and the Machine. Is it Florence and the Machine's latest album? And it's like not the best for like pure audiophile, or like even like the vinyl to like the Qobuz. There's some wonkiness going on. But when you listen to it like streaming via like Spotify in your car, it's really awesome. And like just the story and the way she sings, everything like that, it was pretty good. But when you listen like with headphones or speakers, like proper like hi-fi, it's like woo. It's good, but it's like there's some spots where like you could hear where the engineer either clipped or like, oh, I don't know, it's interesting. with their Progi. As soon as you said that, I instantly thought of like the kids with their hacky sacks and like the fake dreads. Anyways, I thought it was funny. But yeah, good stuff. I don't know what's some other things. What's anybody drinking tonight? And then also, what are some things that you guys would want to see more of here, like on this channel? Like, I'd like to kind of branch out into more. My favorite thing to do is these like live streams, but with guests, like the Zach. Whenever I had Zach and Bevan on, or any guests, that's always been my preferred favorite thing, and I always preferred it to be less interview style and more just hanging out and chatting with those folks, and like just chatting, and less about like what they're working on or products. It always ends up being about the product and that stuff, but I try to steer towards, these are people, and they have cool stories, they do cool things, they have hobbies, they have things that they're into, and it's fun just chatting with them and getting to know them kind of thing. But I don't know, I'm obviously doing the videos for like the headphones and amps and what have you, but I would like to do more of those personally. I'd also like to start diving, once I get better at doing video and editing video, I'd like to do more storytelling type stuff too. I think that's fun. I enjoy that. And I know it's not a thing, so I'm going to have to figure out how to incorporate that some way. But yeah, so I'm hoping to I'm going to start reaching out to more folks about trying to do those like live stream hangout chats with different industry folks, or even just community members even, or people that are just, I don't know, have cool stories, or that are making cool things. Like maybe not even have to be audio related. It could just be, maybe it's some art stuff, or like some, artists or what have you. And by the way, I have my windows open because it is very hot. So if you hear any outside, like a dog barking, that's why. And birds chirping. But yeah. Oh, nice. Need more cowbell. Thanks. Ooh, nice. Now I'll have to check out Sell Onwards. I'll look that up right now. Let's see here. Did that one? Sell Onwards. Pull that down. But yeah, so Jay, the whiskeys these days, yeah, so it's funny, like, I used to be hardcore, not hardcore, but like, I really dug on beer. Like, beer was a thing. You go to all the microbrews, and then the daughter came along, and it was just like, it was really hard to drink a bunch of beer with, I don't know, the way we drank was very socially with beer, so it was like, and then whiskey just became easier because you could do a smaller amount in a shorter amount of time. I don't know, just, it was a weird transit, like the whiskey trends. I always had whiskey, I always had scotches and whatnot, and it wasn't until just before my daughter was born that I got into ryes, and then from ryes I went to bourbon, and I slowly moved away from scotches. And it's funny, I'm actually moving back towards scotch as my preferred whiskey over bourbon and ryes. But I'd say right now my favorites are probably scotch and rye are probably my top two favorites, and bourbon's kind of below that. Bourbon can be a little bit interesting because it gets just a little bit too samey, I guess. There's nuance, but it's, yeah. Yeah, actually, I've been seeing a lot of European rock as well popping up all over the place. It's pretty cool. Like some interesting, like some people I follow, they've been posting stuff on Instagram and whatnot too. And actually, people like Jay, who's kind of chatting here, he has a really cool page on his Instagram where he's populating showing albums all the time. So I actually get a bunch of albums tracks from him where I'm like, oh, that album, I remember that, and I'll go and find it and listen to the album because he showed it up on his page and stuff. So that's definitely how I've been listening a lot lately too, is a lot of the people I'm friends with on Instagram, or if I see them on the different Discords, or people will be like, oh yeah, I'm talking about, I'm playing this album or whatnot. Another one that was really interesting that I was listening to the other day that was populated on another Discord was, let me pull it up, it was a Tim Armstrong album, and where's my phone? It's not here, but it was the Tim Armstrong folk album. It's where he goes back and like remixes or redoes a bunch of like different older songs, and it's pretty cool. I can't remember the name of it though. It's like it's not Tim Armstrong, but it's could have swore I had it in one of my messages here. Oh, there it is. Tim Timebomb and Friends. Tim Timebomb and Friends. So that was a fun one. I did enjoy that. Let's see. Sugar-free cherry. Kool-Aid. Nice. Dude, so there's the other thing. Like I'm pretty deep into like whiskey culture to some level. I'm not like massively deep into whiskey culture, but I do have a fairly decent collection of whiskey. I engage with, I take, photos of whiskey, what have you. And it's a fun culture. There's a really fun, loving group of people there in the group I'm engaged with at this time. Not too much crazy toxicness or anything like that, at least that I've come across so far. But but that being said, there's a part of me that I'm trying to figure out a time frame where I'm thinking about doing like a dry couple months, and it's either gonna have to play maybe this summer. Like I'm gonna try and do like it'll be tough because I'm constantly surrounded with it, and I do it for like I'll be doing like photography and video work for whiskey stuff here in the future, hopefully, and so it's gonna be tough to do that when I'm surrounded by all the time, and it's but that might be the challenge, right? To do it when I'm surrounded by it, kind of deal. Yeah, dude, Tim, I love Tim Armstrong, man. Freaking, I grew up with Rancid and some, it's funny, like, and Jay, you could probably, the stuff like, so I clarified, Rush, that in the group that at least that I'm in, it's not as bad. But yeah, like anyhow, every hobby has its yeah, and it's because you get attached to things, or you make friends with certain people, and other people are there's factors that come into play with that. So always do a dry July. There you go. That's true. I could do a dry July. That would be fairly easy, as I think too. As long as my brother doesn't come visit or friends come visit, I'll be okay. I can usually maintain. I could probably go for that. Let's see here. So Jay, I was to say, it's funny because I grew up listening to everything. Like that's probably like why I said eclectic in my name. Why I chose that was because I've literally listened to everything. Like I don't really care about the genre. I don't really care about the artist. As long as that track or that music like resonates with me, that's all that matters to me, right? So, but anyways, I grew up listening to Bob Marley, to proper. My dad brought a bunch of reggae albums back from Jamaica when he went and visited when he was younger, and so we listened to that all the time. We listened to jazz, bluegrass, folk. I mean, we listened to like big orchestra, symphonies, everything, rock. I was listening to everything growing up. So country, that kind of stuff. It was definitely an interesting childhood, all the way from like even Red Hot Chili Peppers, a lot of punk rock too. We listened to a lot of punk rock, and but I also, with all that, I also grew up listening to a ton of underground hip hop and like that kind of stuff. And it was weird because I never really talked about underground hip hop albums as a kid because it was just no one knew who they were, so it wasn't like it was always like who, what, like no one really got onto it or picked up on it. But I listened to a ton of rhyme sayers. That was a big rhyme sayers guy. Was way into like idea and abilities, way into like atmosphere. You got why am I blanking? He's why am I blanking on his name? I can totally picture him. He's the albino on Rhyme Sayers, and anyways, loved all those stuff. Slug, so that's atmosphere. But then Aesop Rock is also like one of my all-time favorites. But yeah. From Brittany, yep. Hey, what's up, Espo? How you been, bro? We need to run some more stuff later, man. Oh yeah, Run the Jewels. MF Doom, yes. Aesop Rock, dude. Yeah, dude. Seriously, probably Aesop Rock. Like the dude has one of the best vocabularies, and he's been spitting stuff like talking about like spoken word. If you actually listen to what he says and like piece it together, it's hard because he's saying a lot of really crazy words. His vocabulary is insane. But yeah, like there's some really cool stories in there and some cool things being said. But yeah, so really digging on all those things. I'm trying to think some other like albums I've just been kind of like randomly listening to. It's funny, lately I've been listening to a lot more mellow stuff like across the board. And so let's see. Breathing all heavy, it's freaking hot in this room. Whew. Maybe the shirtless stream isn't too far off, Rush. I need to get like a tank top or something. Bad Vegans and Snagav. That was a fun one I picked up off of Spotify recommended or Discover Weekly. I thought that was a fun one. And I'm getting a lot of these, like, I've been listening to a lot of that kind of stuff where it's like these kind of electronic mix folk. It's like this kind of like mashed together of all these different things and like with really nice vocals or like a fun hook to it, and they're just really mellow and chill and like good background or good like going on a run or going on a walk or going working out kind of going on a workout like kind of kick, that kind of thing. So I've been listening to a lot of that kind of stuff lately. It's just I try not to be getting too aggro because I already have a lot. There's a lot going on in the world, and I don't need any more aggroness than it's already engaged with. But like Tenderheaded was a fun one by Cam, Obi, and Smino. Let's see. Oh, that's what I've been listening to a lot of too. Is Kehlani and Masego. I'm probably butchering it. Masego especially, dude. That dude's a talented artist. So definitely check him out. He does like saxophone and like he's a very talented actual musician as well as like, you know, singing, what have you. He's usually on a lot of together like with other artists and stuff. I don't know about that. Pretty sure no one wants to see an old white dude shirtless, man. Oh man, this thing got so the glass one, that Glenfiddich 18. That is tasty, like very tasty. Oh, here's another fun tip: if you're ever whiskey tasting, always take a water bottle with you, because you can. And you're doing like multiple different types of whiskey, and you do a little just to get the thing, and then you also hydrate that way. But you can rinse the glass, and then you'll get the mix of flavors. Anyways, Formations B by Julia I'm gonna butcher that. Jertston, is definitely. I do. In fact, I think I have her on my list right here. That's, let's see. What was another ones? It's been all over the place. There's another one's Hazelnut Butter I was digging on lately as well. It's a Lafa Taylor, Medium Troy are the artists. But it's called Hazelnut Butter. That was a fun one. It's another one of those like kind of chill kind of tracks. Man, these are actually pretty nice Jack Daniels bottles. I mean, it was really cool. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but they have this Jack Daniels written all along, Jack Daniels Distillery, all along the wood outer part, and then it has a really cool. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to populate that. I don't know if you can see it in the light or not, but it's DSP Tennessee 1 or 10 TN1. It's kind of cool. Let's see if I get watch the cork break inside. Not as good as a Glenfiddich, but smells like Jack. I swear to Budapest. All right, let's try this. So Jack Daniels Bonded. This actually just came out, so this is a new one. Wow, it actually has it here. It says Bonded is a big, bold Tennessee whiskey. Basically, this is the standard Jack Daniels. Got a really nice like embossed part here too, but it's basically bonded Jack Daniels. So it's the kind of government bonded process, bottled in bond, and so it's really cool that they did that. It's 100 proof, so that's the government bonded warehouse for at least 4 years. To be a bottled in bond, it has to be a single season and matured in a government bonded warehouse for at least 4 years, and that's the bottled in bond, and it has to be 100 proof. So, anyhow, like banana, peanut. I'm getting like peanut butter and banana on the nose. A little bit of, is that fruit? Cherry, maybe? I don't know. Oh, wow. That's I wasn't expecting that. It doesn't really taste like a Jack that I recall. It's really good, but it has a very, like a sweet cherry, but a little bit of that. Actually, the Jack Daniels tang is there a little bit, but yeah, crazy. Corgi, what's going on? I said your dope glasses. Yeah, it's funny. I don't like JD, original JD. Like I had it's on a later live stream where I had Influenski. She's a big whiskey, and so we were talking about Jack Daniels is like the thing that we got in, and surprisingly. This does taste, kind of reminds me of Jack Daniels. It's just 100. It's a little more forward, and it's basically Jack Daniels, but way more forward, and bright, and kind of more hot to it. A little more heat. Sorry, hot. But yeah, interesting. It's an interesting flavor. Let's see. Are you guys talking about a book here? Okay. I missed a bunch of stuff. I got a deep cut. Group 108 album, Mission Infinite. Ooh, nice. Dude, like Living Legends too. That was the other one. Living Legends, another fantastic. They're another. I think they're out of Oakland as well. Freaking fantastic. Loved Living Legends. Loved. God, I can picture the album. You have Tribe Called Quest. There's another album or another band or group out of there, but yeah, that stuff's crazy. Love that stuff. I got 500. Jesus Christ. Oh man. But let's see. Wow, man, that tastes like it. You know what it tastes like? This would be like. It tastes like. You guys ever had the Elvis sandwich, the peanut butter, honey, and banana like sandwich? That's what this kind of tastes like to me a little bit. Kind of interesting. Yeah, it's JD not watered down. Rush. It's literally what it is. It's non-watered down JD. So it's, is what it is. Pretty much. Yeah, this one is. Yeah, it's basically. It's basically uncut. Or not uncut, but it's basically Jack Daniels, the basic Jack Daniels, just turned to 11 is basically what I would call that. The bonded is Jack Daniels, old number 7, turned to 11. Oh yeah, dude, the Grouch. Love the Grouch. The Dragon. Jay, the Dragon. God, yeah, it literally tastes like a peanut butter and honey sandwich. That's crazy. But yeah, so try to think some other fun stuff that's kind of happening in the future. Like I said, I got the SMSL stuff. I want to get more speaker stuff going because I got the Kefs, but I'm getting all these little, like, let me see if I can unplug this thing. Well, first off, I have this thing that's going to be doing. It's a SMSL DAC. Apos audio sent this out, so I'll be doing this on top of this other thing that's an actual color me I have all this whiskey here and nowhere to put this to pull this other thing off, but it's this little, this thing is tiny for what it is. I'm gonna pull these cables so they don't go flying behind my desk here, but it's actually powering my Kefs, and I thought it was pretty impressive. In fact, there's a couple other guys there's another gentleman. This is probably just gonna fall. Don't mind the noise as these cables go falling. All right, but it's a cables just went sliding everywhere. So it's a VMV. Wow, it's actually really heavy on that side. It's Class A. I think it's like 25 watts into 8. I think. But it's tiny. It's a tiny little thing, and it doesn't power my Kefs as good as the Inlium that I had in the Amp 23R, but I mean that thing is a beast. So it does do very good. Like it is, it's not as full. This is just quick talk about it, but it's not as full sounding with the Kefs as the Amp 23R, or even the Vidar, I'd say. But it does have a little better. Brings out more of the stage. Brings out a little bit more imaging and detail. But I think that's due to the brightness of it. But, it's pretty fun. So, let's see here. Liquid Evil, Kef. That's right. I know, it's KEF, right? It's not Kef, it's KEF. But, come on. America. Oh, you did, Corey? The amp or the DAC? Because it's kind of interesting. And for the price, I mean, that's the part that blew my mind. Like how I'm impressed by the technology, the price, and the size. Because I think it's only like $600, but it and I think you can actually run it in. Oh no, that's the other one that just came out. They have another one that just came out that's like a power amp, the 300 power amp that can do. If you get 2 of them, you can run each for each single speaker, and that one pushes out to like 300 something. Is crazy. I have it, Rush. Actually, it's over there. Let's see here. Oh yeah, dude. Elmrex Pup is good. That was sad, but yeah. yeah, like it's funny, man. Like you get, so here's something, actually, that's actually a good topic to discuss real quick while we're sitting here. I was, especially since I have it here, and I just literally just went from a, it's a $6,600 amp, the Inlium Amp 23R, and I also had the one that kind of preceded that Amp 23R, the 13R from Bakun, and the thing that kind of blew my mind is that these days, man, like some of the stuff that they're pumping out is very capable things. And so, for instance, this VMV here, it's a little bit bright. It's a little bit thin sounding, not horribly thin, but it's definitely not as full as I'd like, especially in the mid range. In the low end's a little bit, it's punchy-ish, and but it doesn't have quite as the oomph behind it that I liked from some of the others. But I've paired it with my little pre here. That's why is this being a pain in the ass to get off? And it's an Elekit pre that I got from Justin from Amps and Sound. He built this custom, and it's got some pretty nice little tubes in there. But it's a little custom pre DIY kit, and paired with that as the pre, and it's, and a fun thing about this thing that I didn't know about, but another gentleman mentioned it to me. It's like, hey, you need to put it, it's like not even in the manual, it's not anywhere, but this thing, if you put the volume to 68 or above, and then use a preamplifier to control all the audio, this switches over to power amp mode, which then gives everything. It's a fairly large difference between just running it in just speaker out. By doing that, it did flesh it out a little bit more, and then having the pre with the tubes helped bring some of that mid range back into that range that I like, with that more warmth to it, or a little more that tube sound, a little more euphonic, and the low end got a little bit more full as well. But overall, like, I was really impressed, like, especially with having a pre there. It was really cool. Anyways, on to triple mashing. So this is the one I'm actually excited about. So this one, the blend of 3 bonded whiskeys. The notes. So this is going to be notes on the nose, which will be honey, malt, and soft oak. So this one should be interesting. And it's a blend of American malt, rye, and Tennessee whiskey. The Audio Godmaster. I don't think I've heard the Audio Godmaster 9, but maybe somebody else has. Dude, Jay, the metas, once you get them, they're a little bit harder to like kind of get to where, like, it was funny. Like, I didn't really like my metas when I had them downstairs as kind of like my main, like, listening in like a big room speakers. But once I got them in near field and in like a little bit smaller, or a little bit like, so like way your room setup is, once you get oh man, they came alive, man, for me. Like, I really, really, really like them. And they're fantastic in big room. You just have to really kind of get them placed right, and you have to make sure that you have that's like, I sent you that PDF where it showed like where placement of a speaker in a room and how it helps with the imaging and all that stuff and bring them to life. Sorry, had to rinse, get some water. Let's see what this one. That was a little bit better. It's a little boop. Wow, the nose on that's really interesting. But, ooh. Yeah, I honestly, like, the thing about Justin's amps are that he uses a very old school, like, how would you describe it? It's kind of like perfecting like 1950s 60s era, and perfecting that like very simple amp layout, and just going for the tubes, right? You're going for those big transistors, you're going for the transformers, going big transformer heavy, and just going for the tube, like diving deep headfirst into the tube sound kind of deal. Ooh, sorry, now I got a little bit of the hiccups. Ooh, fantastic. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit cleaner smelling, a little bit fresher, more fruit forward on the triple mash. Honey and spice, but very mild, very easy. A little bit of cinnamon kick at the back end. Interesting. That's actually definitely more interesting than the other one. Huh. And oh man, actually, I did a whiskey tasting with my buddy. He actually got these for me. My whiskey, I call him my whiskey dealer, and we did a whiskey tasting. And he gave me this tasting, and I was like, "What?" It literally smelled like chemical rubber, like rubber chemical, like I went into like a rubber making plant, and that's the smell. And then the taste was that plus. It was just like, it was so bad, man. It was like not good. And then the crazy thing was, he gave me another sample of a different, it's literally the same batch, just a different barrel from that batch. And it was a completely different flavor. Like it still had a little bit of that like that little like hint of like that chemical rubber smell, but the overall nose and flavor was actually rather enjoyable. But the first one was like god awful. It was crazy how that can, literally the same batch, just different barrels, maybe different places in the warehouse or whatnot. But it was bananas, like how drastic of a difference it was. So maybe it was just a bad barrel for that one, but I don't know. No, we have not talked about the MM500. That's the new Odyssey. It's like their new small one. I think that's the one that they're trying to replace the. What was that small one that they had for a while? It didn't go anywhere, and no one really took off. It didn't take off for them. I think they ended up using it for like some of their gaming headphones. Well, those were sent to him. Those were free samples that were sent to him. So. But the MM500 sounds interesting. I haven't heard it, but I'm saying it's on paper it sounds interesting. So, but yeah, I haven't heard it. Don't know much about it. Let's see. There's another fun. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. If you see me pause it, I'm like, it's because I'm reading the comments. But let's see. Yeah, Jay, that's also true. Like the placement of every room, and then what's in your room. Like there's all these, like the reflections, like there's the bass trap. There's so much stuff. Like with headphones, your room is literally the cups of the headphone, right? So it's super easy to, and then the pads, right? So that's how you dial in your listening room is with the, how the cups are, and then the pads, and then with IEMs, there is no room. It's literally just into your ear. I guess there's that ear gain thing. Rush will love this, the peener, which is the ear gain. All the measurement people are going to be like, but yeah. Oh, Corgi, so the lens for this, and actually almost all my videos I'd use, like I almost never take this lens off, except for when I'm shooting some B-roll and stuff, but it's the 24mm GM. And this thing, like, it's one of the best lenses, especially if you like that 24mm range. Like, it's, I knew you would, Rush. But for a video, like this 24mm, it's the 24mm GM from Sony, and it's just a fantastic wide lens. It's a beautiful lens. It just works really great. In fact, majority of probably like 95% of all the videos on my channel are ran with that 24mm. So, favorite Japanese whiskey. Currently, I would say Hibiki Harmony, just because I have it on hand. But it's a Kurai. Where's that? I think I left my phone someplace. But I was gonna pull up I don't know if I even have a picture of it on my Instagram or anything. But my buddy, the whiskey dealer, he gave me this. Let me try this Japanese whiskey, and it was just fantastic. But right now that I have on hand, that I know I really, really enjoy and I really like, is the Hibiki Harmony. That stuff is just fantastic. Let's see. I don't know if I have a picture of it on my Instagram. The whiskey I liked from Japanese whiskey. But yeah, the Hibiki Harmony is just lovely. One of my other favorites I've been really digging on for an Islay is the Brooklotic Islay Barley. That's really, really good. It has another honey on fruit like flavor profile. Really digging on that profile right now for scotches. Oh, Benriach. I'm a big fan of the Benriach Smoky 12 and even just the non-Smoky 12. Yeah, I don't think I have a picture of the whiskey that he let me try. It was like... yeah, sorry. I'd have to look it up. It's one of the better ones, though. And I also am a big fan of the Nikka Coffee Still one. That one's really good. Really big fan of the Nikka Coffee. Or Kofi Coffee. It's not coffee like the coffee drink, like caffeine in the morning coffee. Coffey, I think, is the way it's spelled, but I could be wrong. Yeah, honestly, that's the other thing. Elric's right, too, man. There's not even like the super low end ones, like the Tokis, like the Hibiki Toki or like some of the lower end Hibikis even are, and then you turn them into a highball and it's like fantastic. Like a Japanese whiskey highballs are some of the best like cocktails you can have. Fantastic. And yes, yeah, that's true. Let's see here. Make sure I didn't get this misting thing. Yeah, Studio Neutral LCDX. Is it a replacement for the LCDX, you think, for the MM500? I thought it was going to be more of their entry level, like a proper entry level is what I thought they were going to be pushing for. I know they have like a version of they're basically a smaller LCDX pad on there, from my understanding, but I didn't think that they were an actual LCDX replacement. I thought they were going to be more entry level that would, they're the stage before the LCDX is where those would fit, I thought. But I could be wrong. This is all just based off seeing some pictures and reading about it a little bit, so from other people. So, see. The Mez 109, I heard it at Can Jam, New York City, and I thought it was interesting as well, but I'm not sure if that's the final tuning of that or the final, so I didn't really want to talk about it too much, but the overall build of it was pretty cool. But then Mez, dude, like, seriously, like, these are the I called these the Mez Elric. So there you go, Elric. You need the lyric, the Mez Elrics. Mez lyric. These, I mean, they're just built so good, man. Like, these are definitely some of the best built headphones out there. I would say the LCD5s and the LCD5s are also really well built, but I think even these surpass those. Like the Elite, is it the Mez Elite? And then even the Empyrean Elite and the Empyrean Elite and the Empyrean, and these are all just stupid well built, man. They're just gorgeously built. So I don't think I can see left, right. See how these are fully extended, but that's comfy. And that's the other thing. These like super comfortable, very very comfortable, very isolating as well. I was probably yelling just then. Yeah, these are nice. Put those on a little stand there. You are, Eldrick. You are. I need to have you on here again. We should do an Eldrick chat and do another one of those eventually. So yes, let's see here. Haven't had just China-Fi. Actually, here's the thing about I was gonna say about real quick, the like China-Fi stuff, man, is like, I mean, I have the Spring 3, which is technically that's what that is, right? And that thing's stupid good. I think the trick is you have to find the stuff that isn't just like a dump and pump kind of thing, like where you just or pump and dump, is that right? Pump, the kind of like the stock market or whatever those things are, the NFTs or whatever the hell. Anyways, you have to find the stuff that people are actually passionate about, because people are passionate about everything everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. But I think there's definitely some really quality stuff coming out of everywhere. It's just, you just have to find them, right? So that's the trick. So, anyways, let's see here. Blending whiskey is very hard. Do you need to buy? So yeah, so the Atrium, I'm waiting on an Atrium from Zach, so I'm really excited about it. And yes, I will be getting my own Atrium, and I honestly, so the Atrium is basically is the top of the line of his biocellulose line, I would say. Whereas the VO, VC are their own separate kind of entities that are like parallel to it. So I'd say you have this like direct line to the Atrium from all his previous biocellulose, cellulose. I pronounce things horribly. Leading up to the Atrium, right? So, but then the deviation, I would say, that there is like kind of like standalone product, like top of the lines, would be his VC and VO. The Atrium basically is the culmination, in my opinion. This isn't from Zach. This is just my personal opinion. Nothing related to him other than it's his headphone. But to me, the Atrium is everything that he's built up to this point and learned from building those other headphones is the Atrium. Like, so for us, that's my opinion of the Atrium. Like, it's kind of like the best of everything that he did before. Maybe not quite as good in like the Icon realm for like the low end bass rumble and that low end sub bass kind of deal, but as far as like bass quality, it's there. So, but in the mid range is that Auteur magic, and then it has the highs of say like the Auteur. I'd say it's like the Auteur is a really good one, and it's got just that nice warmth, but not quite as like, I don't want to say muddy, but not quite as diffused as say like the Aeolus kind of deal, but it still has that nice like warmth, but it still has a nice clean sound to it as well. I don't know, it's a fantastic headphone. I'm really looking forward to getting my own in here, hopefully in the next couple months. So yeah. Ooh, I have heard the Euphoria. That thing is fantastic. Make your drink. So actually, that's another thing, dude. Like the end of the day, right? So Aiko, once again, Aiko. It's really up to you, right? Like what's relaxing you and gets you in the mood of wanting to just like decompress a little bit, and get some music going and just kind of like let yourself float. That's my big thing. Like it's easy to do a whiskey for me because I can just do a quick whiskey and listen to music and then go to bed kind of deal. And I won't overdo it because I know if I do, a certain amount or maybe 1 or 2 glasses, I'm good. But anything, right? Like it's just getting into the mindset and whatever helps that and to get the music to the point where you can like get lost to the music and listening. Like I'm all for it, any of it, right? Like let's do it. It's fantastic. It's such a beautiful thing to be just going on listening to music and that kind of thing. So yeah. Let's see here. Are the pats on those kind of come? Oh, for these ones confined. They have like this. I mean, it's not quite as big as say like a Hi-Fi-Man's kind of like teardrop, but it's nice. I mean, I put them on there. Well, that's backwards. I can kind of feel it on the back of my ears, but I don't. Right now it's not uncomfortable. Like it feels nice. It doesn't bother me. And there's like a nice. It feels like there's a cloth on the inner part. It's like really soft. Yeah, there's really soft inner like cloth material there. In fact, it might even be suede. I don't know. It's really soft, really nice feeling. Yeah, these are comfy and they feel nice on the head. Whatnot. Yeah, I was not a fan of the Empyrean either, Jay. Not my favorite signature. The wall of noise factor, and then the fact that the way that the treble beamed into my ear holes, like it just really made me kind of like eh. And then it would be weird because I'd be listening to some tracks and it would sound fantastic, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I can totally get behind this. Like this is great. And then because of my listening style, where I'm just all over the place with genres and music styles, I'm not listening to I'm like going from hip hop to folk to electronic to R&B to like orchestra to it's so like also I'd hit another track where it also just blow out my ears almost. And not like literally from too loud, but just because it was just beaming so hard into my ear. And so that was my problem with the Empyreans. And so I'm not really too I'm not expecting it to be too much different with these because I believe these are basically the same or similar style of tracing. And I don't want to try and pull these pads off because it doesn't seem like these are the type to come off. I don't think so. I'd have to look it up, and I don't want to try and do it by force and it not be the case because these aren't mine. But I think it has the same kind of trace pattern. It's slightly different, it looked like, by looking at it in there, but yeah, not my favorite thing. Ace, what's going on? Yeah, Corgi, that's the other thing. I'd say, yeah, the atrium is one of those things where it's just good. Like, it's really good. Is it gonna beat other? I mean, at that point, and this is something I was mentioning somewhere else too. I was like, at this level, right? You're talking about preferences versus is something like not as good as another thing. It's more that it's just as good. It's just might not fit certain preferences or by like what you like. You know what I mean? As much as something else. So I think that's where that kind of fits. Let's see here. Hey, later, Kevin. Thanks for jumping in, brother. Cheers. Yeah, have a great weekend as well. I'm sure I'd get in a lot of trouble if I went shirtless. Maybe we could do like a hot tub stream or something at some point. And I'm overweight right now, guys. Come on. I actually had a thing where it was from holding my. So I hold my daughter. Like I'll hold my arm and I'll like lock it, and then she'll sit on my arm, kind of like so. I'll do that, right? And she'll sit on my arm, like even that, just pressing right there. And she'll sit on it, and I'll carry her around everywhere. And she's 40 pounds, and I just carry her that way. And so I started getting this really gnarly pain, like right in my elbow here. And I went to the doctors and like, oh yeah, you have bicep tendinitis. And so it's basically an inflammation of where my tendons meet here at the elbow joint, and it just screams at me. So now all I've been doing is like push-ups and I'm trying to do more cardio and whatnot. And so just push-ups, body squats, stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm definitely not in my best shape right now. Let's see. Ooh, coffee and records in the morning. Oh man, I need to start doing that again. I have my record player over here, but I need to figure out a way to get that downstairs where it's not going to be a problem, where my record player where I can have it where it's not going to be interfered. Right now my setup for downstairs isn't conducive to a record player, so I need to figure out a way to make it conducive to record player, because I think that would be amazing. Like coffee in the morning and a nice, like, it's such a dialed in experience when you listen to vinyl, and you throw in the coffee routine experience in there as well, and you're just fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, your pup is super cute, Jay. It reminds me of LCD5, but more tolerable to me. Yeah, I could see that. The LCD5 was so bland to me, man. The only time I really liked the LCD5, and I'm not an EQ guy, but the only time I liked the LCD5 was when I was listening to it off of the Amson Sound Nautilus and Red October, which are like stupid expensive, and it was just like, but and then LCD5 build quality is next level as well. It's such a departure from their previous headphones build quality in quality, like literal, like it upstaged everything else that they put out as far as build quality, in my opinion. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, Caroline Loveglow. Ooh, yeah. I'll have to grab all these. Dang it. Ooh, a boba does sound good right now, man. Ooh, like a nice an ube. Oh, an ube coconut boba. Oh, that sounds delicious right now. I can go for that. Let's see. But actually, we're already about an hour, so let's do some Sorry, kind of getting in the swing of this. That's the other thing too. I want to try and do these more scheduled and on like a more routinely, just to as a fun hangout, and maybe kind of maybe I'll ask in the community tab of the YouTube thing of like some topics, and we can maybe do some of that, and then maybe try if there's anybody that knows anybody wants to chat about a product or anything like that, and I'm happy to have some of that, but go from that round. I think that'd be really fun. Maybe I can convince Jay to jump on. We talk about records as well, but or anybody that wants to jump on and have a chat, and do like a hangout chat. That'd be fun. I would love to do those things. I think that's a blast. Let me grab this music real quick. But any other questions or things you guys want to talk about before signing off? Caroline. Love Glow. Ooh. Got it. Boom. Tori Moy. That is a good one. God, I don't think I've listened to that in a while, to be honest. Yeah, I haven't listened to that in a while. I had to go look for it. It's deep in my playlist. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I was drinking earlier. Yeah, the Glenfiddich 18. This stuff is, there it is, delicious. I actually kind of dig the triple mash. It has a really nice. It's a definitive departure from this. Still has a little bit of heat in the center area right here, but it's a nice little flavor profile though. It's got a little bit of the banana on the back end, a little like the hint of banana that Jack Daniel's is known for, but nice little sweetness, a little bit of spice, a little bit, and then the linger is very cinnamon. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Can Jam, SoCal. I'm hoping to go this year as well, so hopefully that'd be a cool one. Maybe we could all get a hangout at some point if we all end up going. That'd be really cool to do a Can Jam hangout. Oh, that's another thing. Like, so I mentioned it before. Like, so some people have been asking me about doing like a Discord thing as well as like a Patreon thing. I'm not really big on the Patreon thing just because it's like it's kind of a weird. I don't really can't wrap my brain around the Patreon thing as much, But a Discord would be interesting. I just need to figure out a way to do it properly without it devolving into some kind of toxic kind of deal. So if you guys think about that, like what your thoughts are on that. I know Jay, you and I talked about it a bit too. I just need to figure out a way to do it and do it right. Like I don't want to have it be a thing that's just kind of there that ends up devolving into toxicity, but anyways, so there's some things that I've been trying to like figure out how to do and do them properly. I want to be able to do it. If I do something, I want to be able to do it in a way that isn't create a toxic atmosphere or create something that's, because it's too easy in this space to go down that route. But anyways, yeah, the JD. It's funny. It's like I actually really like Gentleman Jack. Gentleman Jack's fantastic. Sinatra, which is overpriced, but it's the Sinatra Jack Daniels. But the Sinatra is really good. But then what's funny is the regular JD with ginger beer or ginger ale, like a Jack and ginger, is actually really good as far as like a combo, like a cocktail. But it's even better with the other stuff that actually tastes a little bit better. But also, if you just don't like the Jack Daniel's signature, you're not going to have a good time no matter what. Except for with the rye. The Jack Daniel's rye tastes like banana cream banana cream pie to me, or banana Foster. It's crazy. Ray Liotta. Oh, yeah, and rest in peace, man. That dude. What a character that guy was. Heck yeah, man. It'd be fun. I should get you in with some of the other guys, man. Like, there's some... Yeah, Dude, see, that's the other part that I want to get back to. Like, real quick, before I start closing down and get ready to get back to the family. At the end of the day, right, like... what is, let me grab these things. Like, at the end of the day, all this is, and all this gear is a means for me to experience music the way that I want to experience music. Like, so if like without this, I don't, like, I still can listen to music. I can throw AirPods on and I can still dive down and lose myself to the music with a pair of AirPods in, for crying out loud. Or even I could even, take your iPad or iPhone and listen to music and have a blast having listening to music. All the gear is it's just accentuating that experience of listening to music, in my opinion. And I think that's what's kind of somewhat being lost a lot when it comes to like some of this gear, the gear cycling, or like the just the gear in general, right? Like it's slowly becoming more about the gear over actually the experience of listening to the thing that we're actually buying the gear to do, right? And so I think that's something that's I think that'd be a fun topic at some point to discuss. Maybe it'd be fun to have like a group chat about it, but like that's something I don't know. It's just it kind of bothers me a little bit. And then the entitlement on certain things, or like, anyways, it needs to be more inclusive, Jay. I agree. Like, it just needs to be like we're all here listening to music. It's music. It's a thing that brings people together, and yet there's this divisive nature to it. And I take, I'm no different. I'm guilty of, taking umbrage or being angry at certain people because they, whatever. But I need to get better about it, and I think it would be, a good way to go down route. But it's true, Rush, man. Like I get it. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Everyone has their, and that's kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier too. Like, there's always that. You find friends, you build up your tribe, you build up your community, or you're part of a community, or you're part of your tribe that has, you like this thing, and another tribe goes, oh, your thing's garbage, and your natural first instinct is to defend and or attack back, or that kind of thing. But how do we get to the point where we don't do that? We go, well, maybe, but then I don't know. So yeah. Anyhow. But yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, I actually want to do that. I want to do like some more music stuff. I think like a pure music thing. I kind of did one before where I was like, hey, community, give me the music that you've been listening to, and I think that'd be fun. Another one to kind of continue doing. I just need to get back to it. When I get back from this next trip, I want to like kind of crank out a bunch of IMs I need to do. So I was thinking about trying to do some smaller, bite-sized IM kind of overviews, and then in my experience with them and thoughts. But I would like to get back to like talking about music first. It'd be kind of cool. Yeah, exactly, Jay. Like that. Like get back to the gear is there to accentuate and to improve upon my experience of the music, not to be the whole experience. So anyhow, yeah. the VX is there, man. I have it. I've been playing with a little bit, so that will be coming. Maybe I'll do a longer one just for you, Rush. I'll call it the Rush VX review. Oh yeah, Cell Onward System. Thank you. I need to grab that one too. Actually, I think I did grab that one. Anyhow, let's do this again. I'll try to do more of these live streams. I think these are more fun. But I think what I might do is maybe that's where the Discord kind of thing can come into play, or the different chats. Like, hit me up on the like in the chat below, or on any of my social media pages, or what have you. And I would like to do more guest things. I think because doing it this way, it's very one-sided. I mean, I'm talking to you guys through the chat, but it kind of has those breaks, and it kind of loses some of the communication, I guess. This is a weird thing when you think about it. I'm talking to a camera and answering questions from text. You know what I mean? It's like when you actually kind of break your brain on it. And it would be kind of fun to have more, maybe grab people, from the community, grab people from different industry parts and artists and whatnot, and like start diving into that. I think that'd be really fun. I want to do more of that. So, but I'd like to also set this up to be like maybe a weekly thing, if not bi-weekly, to do like these live streams so I can be more consistent with them. Because these are fun. They kind of they bring me back down to earth, you know. Yeah, streaming by yourself is weird, man. It's a very interesting, weird thing. But it's enjoyable because I'm chatting with you guys. But it'd be cool if I could actually have you guys chatting. You know what I mean? Like an actual... So maybe we can figure out a way to do that. But anyways, thoughts and suggestions. And then maybe I can do a Discord or a thing later on. I need to figure it out. And then the Patreon thing, I'm not sure how I would do that. But I don't know. I want to do it right. So thoughts and stuff. Go ahead and comment. Hit me up in my different media things. Email me, that kind of thing. It's like Cam Girl Better. No one wants to see these moobs, man. But, alright, I think with that, I will let everyone have the rest of their Friday night back. I will chug this JD to make Elnrick super upset. Anyways, cheers, everybody. And I'll try to get this going and look out for some pictures from Amsterdam and whatnot. And I will catch everybody on, social media and all that fun stuff. And and yeah, maybe we can get Discord going. Maybe that'd be a fun thing. I think that could be fun, and I'd like to try it. So far, the only way I've seen it really, really properly work is when it's super small private Discords. So maybe I'll make it a private Discord and just have like the basic people that are, and slowly bring in people just to keep it chill and then until it can grow naturally or whatnot. So, all right, everyone. Cheers, and have a great rest of your weekend. Elnrick, this last drink of JD for you, my man. Ooh, JD is not the easiest to do. Like, it's much, definitely more of a sipper for me. Woo, or a